So there's this weird thing happening in the global housing market. When markets crash, they usually crash hard. But there's one country that just seems to be defying financial gravity. Today, we're going to dig into the puzzle that is the Australian housing anomaly.
You know the saying, right? Safe as houses. It's that one investment everyone tells you is a sure thing, the ultimate safe bet that just can't lose. Well, what if that's not exactly true? What if the story of the last half century, when you look at the whole world, paints a much riskier picture? Okay, so to understand this, we have to start with this global trend, this trap, really, that has totally changed the game for housing everywhere. The key word here is financialization. It's a big word, but the idea is simple. It's when houses stop being just, homes and start being treated like stocks or poker chips, financial assets to be bought, sold, and bundled up for big profits. And here's the kicker. This has created a kind of ironclad rule globally. The more a housing market gets treated like a casino, the longer and way, way deeper the crashes are when they happen.
And listen, this isn't just some dusty textbook theory. We've seen it happen in real life, all over the place. Europe got hammered for a decade after 2008. China and Hong Kong, they're in the middle of their own housing nightmare right now. And then, of course, you've got the big one, the ultimate cautionary tale, the U.S.
Yeah, let's talk about the US for a second. It's really the poster child for what happens when this whole system blows up.
Wow, just look at this chart. That 2006 crash, that's not a dip, that's a nosedive off a cliff. The downturn it created was so brutal, it literally erased a generation's worth of wealth.
So you might be wondering, how long did it take for prices to even get back to where they started? Get this, 188 months.
Let that sink in. That is almost 16 years. 16 years just to break even. A whole lost decade and a half. Imagine watching your biggest investment, your home, lose nearly 40% of its value. Okay, so we have this global rule, right? But that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating. Because there's this one country, a country with a super financialized market, that seems to be completely ignoring the rulebook. And that country is Australia. Just look at these two side by side. On the left, you've got that monster 16 US recovery, a total slog. Then on the right, you see Australia. Sure, they have dips, they have downturns, but look how fast they bounce back. It's like a completely different world. No lost decades in sight. Let's put some numbers on it. The US, a 16-year recovery from a 40% price collapse. Australia, their downturns are over in just 2 to 5 years. The price drops are way smaller, much shallower. It's not a wipeout like in the US. It's more like a temporary setback. So this all leads to the big one, the billion-dollar question. Australia has one of the most financialized housing markets in the world. So how on earth does it seem totally immune to the pain that's hit basically everywhere else? Seriously, what's going on here? Is the Australian market genuinely stronger? Maybe because of unique things like government policy or population growth? Or is this whole thing just a massive speculative frenzy? A bubble that's just been lucky so far, but is waiting to pop? When you look at the charts, the story seems pretty clear. Around the world, this kind of market leads to fragility. And then there's Australia, the great exception. But the real question, the one nobody has an answer to, is for how much longer?